Hey guys, Sean Nalawani here of BodyTransformationTruth.com, and in this video I want to outline 4 important calf training tips that you should be applying to all of your standing calf raise movements, which is the #1 exercise that I recommend for optimal calf training, if you want to see the very best results possible. So aside from a couple of legitimate genetic disadvantages that do come into play, which I talked about in a Q&A video that I posted earlier today, which I'll also link in the description box, most guys also make several simple but crucial mistakes in their training form that make adding significant size to their calves next to impossible. So give these 4 tips a try on your next workout, and I guarantee that you'll notice a significant difference in how effectively you're able to stimulate your calves. And keep in mind, I'm not gonna bother demonstrating these because these tips are fairly self-explanatory. So tip #1, instead of driving yourself up onto the entire ball of your front foot, focus on raising yourself up onto your big toe instead. This prevents your feet and your ankles from rolling outward and maximally stimulates the inner portion of your calf where the largest percentage of the muscle mass is located. If you simply perform a regular calf raise without thinking about this, then your body will naturally follow the path of least resistance and do the opposite since your big toe is positioned furthest away. Give this one a try and you should notice a immediate improvement in how intensely you're able to contract your calves on each rep. Tip #2, when most people perform standing calf raises, they place their feet at shoulder width apart or even narrower throughout the exercise. And while this certainly will still work when it comes to stimulating your calves for growth, an even better approach is to go slightly wider than shoulder width at an inch or 2 outside. So just like pressing yourself up onto your big toe, using a wider stance on your calf raises prevents your ankles from rolling outward as you press yourself up. If you do want to mix in some additional sets using a narrower stance, that's perfectly fine, but use the wider stance as the foundation of your calf training. Tip #3. One very common and detrimental calf training mistake is in the excessive use of momentum. In fact, it's very rare to see a lifter in the gym who doesn't perform their calf raises in this way. The majority of people simply load up the weights and then basically bounce their way through their set by pumping out their reps without any real pause at the top or at the bottom of the movement. When you bounce yourself out of the bottom position of a standing calf raise, you greatly minimize the amount of tension that you can place on the actual calf muscles, and you redirect it towards your Achilles tendon instead. The Achilles tendon is an elastic tissue that connects the calves to the bottom of your foot. And when you lower the resistance very quickly, the Achilles tendon gets loaded on the way down, and then when you bounce yourself out of the bottom position, you are basically using the elastic energy of your Achilles tendon to raise yourself back up. And as a result, a much smaller amount of actual muscular work ends up being involved. So here is what I would recommend in terms of optimal calf training rep cadence. On the positive portion of the rep, press yourself up as hard and fast as you possibly can while still maintaining proper form. Pause in the fully contracted position for 1 second. Lower yourself in 3 to 4 seconds, and then pause in the very bottom stretched position for a full 2 seconds before pressing yourself back up again. This particular cadence will maximize the stress on your calves, and it will minimize the involvement of your Achilles tendon. And tip #4, keeping a very slight bend in your knees during your calf raises is a good idea since it will take some of the stress off of your knee joints. However, the bend in your knees should be exactly that. It should be very slight. If you bend your knees too much, you'll greatly be reducing the effectiveness of your calf training, because what that does is deactivate the gastrocnemius, which is the head of the calf where the vast majority of the muscle is located, and it shifts the emphasis onto the much smaller and less significant soleus muscle, which runs underneath. So make sure to bend your knees just enough so that they aren't completely locked out, but no further. So I hope you found these 4 tips useful, and if you want a rundown of my top 5 recommended calf exercises along with some effective sample workouts, then check out this post over on my website, and I'll also put the link in the description box down below. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you found the information useful. If you did find it helpful, please make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on future videos. And also make sure to check out my complete step-by-step muscle building and fat loss programs over at bodytransformationtruth.com by clicking the link up in the top right corner here, or by using the link down below in the description box. Talk to you again soon.